I wanted to share something really quick with you. It's what I call um, my bridge story. How you get to know me a little bit. Okay, as a writer and as a speaker, I was the youngest of three children raised by a single mother. I remember a promise to myself to figure out how to make my own money. My mother was on a fixed income because she had environmental asthma. What this boils down to, anything could shut down her ability to breathe, so money was extremely tight. And well, my dad didn't provide any support. My desire was to make my own money and not to have to depend on a man for the lifestyle I wanted to live. I became a single mom at 24, no support from my daughter's father. I wanted to be a family with a man who did not desire to be a part of his child's life. At the time, I was struggling with commitment issues, his and my own. That meant I could only depend on what I knew to be true, and that was I would be a single mom who was grateful that I saw how to be a single parent because of the lessons I learned from my own mother. I felt I could not trust a man for my survival. Dad did not do it, and now my daughter's father would not provide me stability either. Then I found my survival skills and learned where my strength lied in myself. Then came along a book, a counselor, which helped me shift my perspective to learn who I was and why I kept failing myself in the choices of the men I picked. Then, as if by chance, something amazing happened. I found the validation from a male Christian counselor that because of my daddy daughter relationship did not exist for me, there was no wonder I felt the way I did about men. I found myself attached to guys who were emotionally unavailable. Then I figured out it was necessary for me to validate how I was feeling in any given situation, not by judging it as right or wrong, just that I felt a certain way. And that if I had experienced these feelings, there had to be others whose experiences mirrored my own. And I started exploring the self help world and began thinking I could help someone else with what I was learning about myself by way of life experiences. I began to deal with my emotions rather than running away from them and turning them inward, which was hurting me physically and mentally. I began journaling and writing my story and sharing my brand of encouragement. So I decided to write as a way of healing my broken heart when my mom died, as a service to others. So I started writing my story and began to think I could actually become a writer. So I started entering writing contests. I got a subscription to Writer's Digest, joined writers groups, and began reading other people's stories who were writers to stay inspired along my journey. But there was still a problem because I understood that there was a business side to writing that I had no clue about. Nor did I know how to get my writing out into the public besides the contest I was not winning or the agent I couldn't afford. I still had to deal with the inner critic too, and the fear of not being able to pull this off. The desire to be a best-selling author. And who doesn't want that if you're going to be writing, right? In my research, I came across the concept of not just being a writer, but adding speaker to the list as an outreach to promote my own written work. I started small doses of my form of encouragement out on social media and began to build my platform to create my digital imprint. I created my company, Pew Partners, as a place where nobody goes unnoticed, to allow others to tell their stories on the couch, in a chair, or by way of a simple conversation. Which meant I had a platform to help others, and as I figured out things that were helping me, I could share it with others and build a community of Pew Partners along the way. Welcome to my community. In the end, I have a place and a product I can share with others, on their journey of self-awareness and healing the father wound that kept me in self-doubt. When all is said and done, I have 3 published books: Ordinary Princess, You Are God's Love Story, and Daddy, You Can Hold My Hand. And 5 ebooks and a growing platform that will serve others on their journeys. All this means I will be able to leave a legacy of hard work and financial literacy to my daughter, who will know that just because your start may not have been ideal, your finish, though, can be what you make it if you never give up. Signed, A Single Mom, unpublished. So I just want to share a little bit of who I am so we can get to know one another, so we can build this community out. And if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe, like, and share, and come back. And we will have a conversation. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.